If I had a friend like Miss Rosemary Woods, how simple my life would
The
be.
Omnipressor started out with a suggestion from a guy named Mark Weiss. Mark Weiss, whose name you will probably not remember, was affiliated with Richard Nixon in the sense that Richard Nixon created a tape with the 18-minute gap, and Mark Weiss was on the committee to try to figure out what was going on with that 18-minute gap.
Wow.
You mean to like do forensic
Do
of
exactly.
the tape itself? And
Exactly. He had
see
the
if he
tape.
could extract
He and
something?
his committee were trying to figure that out. And this is an old colleague of mine. I worked with him when I was working in a defense plant. Very, very smart guy, real expert in speech science. And we were just babbling about something or other. And he used the term a homomorphic filter. And at the time, we were having a technical discussion. At the moment, I can't really reproduce it in my alleged mind. But it occurred to me that making a compressor with a side chain, which is all the rage now, because back in the day, a compressor had feedback and tried to limit or compress or whatever. But if you could keep the side chain separate and measure the level of the signal separately from the compressed signal, you could do interesting things. And I don't know, it might have even been a vision, but just from this discussion, I said, you could, just by taking this side chain signal and amplifying it, going from a gain of, let's say, 1 through a gain of -1, using the proper kind of operational amplifier, you could create anything from a gate to a infinite compression to reverse compression.
Which would be expanding?
No, reverse compression, a soft signal would become loud, and a loud signal would become soft. In other words, you could reverse the attack and decay, say, of a drum kit, which is where it turned out to work really well. And using a couple of DBX modules for gain control and level measurement, because Dave Blackmer had just come out with these things, and we were using them in other products. Or actually, at the time, we weren't using them in other products. We were just about to. Take a level detector module, connect it to an amplifier in the right way, so you can adjust the gain from, again, -1 to +1, conceptually anyway, and apply that to a gain module, and suddenly, with the correct circuitry, you've got this thing that can reverse dynamics.
But you had a musical idea for how it would apply? Like, besides the fact that
I think
do
you're
this,
being awfully generous to me. I don't usually get musical ideas. I usually get technical ideas,
Right.
and they turn out to be musical. I just thought, boy, this would really sound interesting.
Right.
And I was right. It sounded really, really interesting.
Right.
And then later on, you would remember the distinction between the white face and the black face.
Yeah.
The problem with the first Omnipressor, the one that I designed, is it was not only really difficult to use, it was almost incomprehensible. You just had to have some facility with the knobs and whatever. Then a friend of mine named John Paul came on board, joined the company, and he turned it into a defined product where the knobs were actually calibrated and you could adjust exactly what you wanted to do. That was the black-faced Omnipressor. And that actually sold pretty well, and we eventually discontinued it, which was a big mistake.
Why did you discontinue?
Because we moved and it wasn't selling all that well at the time. We couldn't get
Right.
the meters anymore. Any number of reasons. It was just a commercial decision. Maybe it was a mistake, maybe wasn't. But now that we're doing it as a plug-in, how many
Yeah.
have we sold? Lots. Thousands, right? Certainly
Well, I was going to
thousands.
say, just going on.
It's an incredible
just,
product.
Just trying to buy
Plug.
one online, like an
Yeah.
old rack mount.
Yeah.
They are A, hard to find, and B, so expensive.
Really?
Yeah.
Like people who have them are really sitting on them and love them and still
Wow.
use them. It's really a coveted.
You couldn't make them now.
Yeah,
A
sure we
hardware
could.
version.
We could make a hardware version. Should we? We should. All right, we'll make one. I'm glad I
Especially if
came.
you're saying the
Can I
vintage
get it? Can I beta test the first one?
Exactly. I'll alpha
Ask your
test.
bro.
No, I'm asking you. He'll tell me no.
Right. Like, was there a moment when all of a sudden you went, oh shit, this is really going to take off and people really are,
Was there a moment?
yeah.
There was. Tony Agnello sitting
John
quietly
Agnello's
in the
brother.
corner,
John Agnello's the brother of John Agnello. I just love saying that.
designed the H910 harmonizer. And we had a person working for us at the time, Heather Wood, folk singer.
Love the Heather Wood.
We were making stuff and doing reasonably well. And Tony had this, I forget, it was close to production. It wasn't exactly a prototype, but it wasn't ready to ship yet. We were all pretty enthusiastic about it. And Heather came down to the basement and looked at it. And she said, "Oh my God, you're going to make a ton of money with this," she said.
If I had a friend like Miss Rosemary Woods, how simple my life would be. I'd just give all my problems to Rosemary Woods, and she would erase them for me. Each time I was wrong, or each time that I lied, or somebody made me scared, I would simply report them to Rosemary Woods, and she could make them disappear.